Have you ever dreamed of building a global empire? Well, what if I told you its headquarters wasn't some flashy skyscraper, but your living room? And that your main tool wasn't a giant factory, but your laptop? Today, we're going to break down that exact blueprint. We're going to unpack the steps to turn your home into a launch pad for global trade.
First things first, you gotta forget the old image of what an exporter is. Massive warehouses, giant shipping containers, mind-bogglingly complex logistics. That whole game has completely changed. The new exporter, they operate from their living room. They ship in small courier packages. And they run the whole show with a laptop and a clear vision. And this isn't just some idea. For thousands of entrepreneurs, this is the new reality.
So how does this actually work? Well, the key is becoming what's called a merchant exporter. Think of yourself as a bridge. See, you don't need to own a factory or produce anything yourself. Your job is to find incredible products made by local manufacturers or artisans and connect them to a global market that's just waiting for them. You're not a manufacturer, you're a curator with a global stage.
To get you there, we've got a super clear roadmap. First, we'll build your foundation. That means picking a product and sorting out the paperwork. Then, we'll get your digital storefront built. After that, we tackle shipping, but without the headaches. And of course, we'll make sure you get paid securely. Finally, we'll pinpoint the very first step you can take literally today.
All right, let's dive into Section 1, your foundation. This is all about laying that crucial groundwork. And trust me, if you get this part right, everything else just falls into place so much more easily. So the secret here is to kind of flip the usual business thinking on its head. You're not trying to move tons of low-cost stuff. The real secret is to think small to win big. You want to focus on products that have a high value, but a low volume. Why? Because that means they're easy to store, in your home, and they're cheap to ship in small quantities.
And I mean, just look at these examples. This is exactly the kind of stuff we're talking about. Things like essential oils, unique designer jewelry, special organic tea blends, or beautiful handmade home decor. Or even super specialized spices like saffron, or that incredibly potent Lakadong turmeric. These are items that have a story, a high perceived value. They're just perfect for this model.
And here is the sourcing secret in a nutshell. You become the hero for local producers. You get to go to these amazing artisans, to farmers, to small creators and say, hey, your work is incredible, and I can take it and put it on the global stage. You basically become their international marketing and sales department.
Now for the part that sounds scary to everyone, the paperwork. But look, it's really just a 4-step process, and you can do almost all of it online. First, you get a digital signature certificate, a DSC. Just think of it as your secure electronic signature. Next, you apply for your Import-Export Code, or IEC. That's your one-time license to trade globally. Then, you get your GST registration sorted, which is super important for getting tax refunds on your exports. And finally, an MSME registration, which opens up all sorts of government support. It looks like a lot, but really it's just a checklist, not a giant roadblock.
Okay, let's move on to Section 2. With your foundation solid, it's time to build your digital storefront. Because in this game, your online presence is your international showroom. It's your face to the entire world.
And this table is your battle plan. It's not about being everywhere all at once, it's about being in the right places. If you're selling business to business, LinkedIn is your absolute go-to for connecting with procurement managers. But if your product is beautiful, something aesthetic like jewelry or decor, then Instagram and Pinterest are your visual playgrounds. And for casting a wider net to wholesalers, you'll want to be on the B2B marketplaces.
All right, Section 3, shipping. Now this is the hurdle where so many great ideas just stop. But we're not going to let that happen. We're going to reframe this as mastering logistics the easy way.
The very first thing you need to do is erase that image of giant, rusty shipping containers from your brain. Seriously, that's not your world, at least not right now. Your huge advantage is that you're nimble. You can do small, fast, efficient deliveries that the big guys can't easily do for niche products.
So how do you actually do it? Well, you've got some powerful allies. In India, for example, the Postal Service has a special program just for small exporters. Or you can team up with global giants like DHL, FedEx, or RMX. But here is the absolute game-changing benefit. They handle customs clearance for you. That is a massive, complicated headache just gone.
And now for the final hurdle, the one that can keep you up at night, getting paid. Let's tackle this thing head on so we can turn that fear into pure confidence.
This is it, isn't it?
The single biggest question, the number one fear that every single new exporter has. And you know what? It's a totally valid one. You're about to send your precious product thousands of miles away to someone you probably never even met. So, how do you protect yourself?
The answer is you build a shield of security around every single transaction. The absolute safest method? Ask for a 30 to 50% advance payment. For bigger orders, a bank-guaranteed letter of credit is the gold standard. For those small sample orders, services like PayPal or Stripe are perfect. And no matter what, and I mean no matter what, your ultimate safety net is getting ECGC insurance cover. It protects you if a buyer defaults. It's a non-negotiable.
We've covered the what and the how, but now we're at the most important part, Section 5, your first step today. It's time to go from just having an idea to actually taking action. So let's just quickly remember why this model is so incredibly powerful right now. You have basically zero overhead, no office rent, no extra utility bills. You have a truly global reach from your kitchen table. And on top of all that, governments are actively supporting this with initiatives designed to help you find unique local products. The wind is totally at your back here.
So what is that first tangible step? It's not some huge, scary leap. It's this number, 5. Don't wait around for some giant container-sized order to fall from the sky. Your first goal is to send out 5 paid samples to 5 potential international buyers. This one simple action does 2 critical things. 1, it tests your entire process from payment to shipping, and 2, it starts building that crucial trust with real customers.
And that really brings us to the final thought. Every global business, every huge brand that you can think of that spans continents, it all started with a single step, a single product, a single box. We've just laid out the entire blueprint. So the only question left to ask is, what's inside yours?